Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier. Hi, Nona. The jewellery retailer Michael Hill is giving up on his plans to develop retailer's plans to develop the United States market, and will also reposition the Emma and Roe brand. What's behind all of this?
Well, it's an interesting thing. The company had tried to develop a market in the United States for like almost a decade, like 9 years, and was losing maybe $2 to $4 million a year every year for all those years, and decided finally to pack it in. Also, Emma and Roe, that was a brand that they introduced, I guess, about 4 years ago, around the time that Michael Hill announced his retirement as chair of the board. So at that time, he announced this Emma and Roe, which was kind of the idea of bringing in sort of interesting jewelry items like baubles, kind of charms for bracelets. It didn't really take off, and it has cost them a lot of money. So they're going to reposition that and move that into a different kind of market, something they call a demi-fine jewelry, which is basically fashion accessory, lower cost, but still fine jewelry, not the same as Michael Hill. But, it's an interesting thing because Michael Hill, when he retired, he said that what he wanted to see was that the Emma and Roe and the United States market was going to help them one day open 1,000 stores. That was his dream, with $1 billion of sales. Well, it turns out that's just not going to happen because times have changed for the retail market, and if it is going to happen in terms of sales and so on, a lot of it's going to be happening online. Bricks and mortar. That's yesterday's story, I think. So, yeah, interesting. And I asked the chief executive of Michael Hill what was next for the company. So we have a little bit of what he had to say.
Yeah, it was probably a very much a bricks and mortar vision in the days when online wasn't a key player. And so it'd be fair to say that our vision now is really more around growth in revenue and growth in channels, and not purely on bricks and mortar. So I guess there is an equivalency to the business, but it may not be 1,000 physical stores. It may well be a much more balanced offering for both brands.
That's Michael Hill, Chief Executive. Phil Taylor talking to you earlier, Nona. How did the market react to this?
Well, actually, they loved it. The share price rose more than 5%. That's 7 cents.
Well, it wasn't working, and they're pulling back on it.
Yeah.
So,
of course, that means they're going to cut their losses, right? So, of course.
Yeah.
And so they finished up at $1.42, which is pretty good. Well, a 5% lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad day's work if you can get it. The outdoor retailer Kathmandu also saw a lift in its share price today. I don't know why though. What was that about?
Well, they just announced a trading update. Their New Zealand sales were a little soft, but the Australian sales were going gangbusters. So really, they've decided that their profit is going to be no less than $12 million for the first half. That's up from $10 million last year. And sales were softer in New Zealand, but pretty good in Australia. And so the market liked that. Their share price rose nearly 1% by 2 cents to $2.41.
What else happened on the markets today?
So overall, our market rose 0.2%. And Asia's been very strong as well. So that's 16 points up to 8,324. And our New Zealand dollar is also up today. It's been at 73.7 US cents. That's pretty high. And 92 cents Australian and 52.5 pence.
Nona Peltier joining us with the business news in the Auckland studio. Thank you very much indeed.